ተገድላ ከሱ ጎን መቀበር አለባት።
ምንም ድንግላድ እንዴት ነው?
You know, there's so many situations happening in the world, and we can be made aware of them through film, but then we also don't know quite what to do about them. And what I think this film shows is not only something that is very, of course, it's very emotionally. You can see what happened to this young girl and what this was and why this law needed to be changed, but you also learn. So it's very proactive. It talks about constitutional law, tribal law, understanding how to make change, using art to make change, and that this sisterhood between these two women and how they came together, and how important it is to have a woman who has such a strong education and what she's able to do inside her own country. So all of these things, it wasn't just something that pulls at your heartstrings, but it moves us forward, their story. And I think there's often many films that have really wonderful intentions and beautiful stories. But I think what's also extraordinary is that this is a real filmmaker. This is an extraordinary film. This is only the 4th film out of Ethiopia in 35 millimeter. He had to process it through India and have it scanned on the way out. Very, very complicated and obviously sensitive material. It's beautifully shot. It's extraordinarily acted. And so I'm proud of the subject matter. I'm also so proud of the art coming out of Ethiopia. So I think it says many things.
Yeah, it is my first movie.
Speaking Amharic. Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Asking for direction. Yes.
Well, ሰለጥን ነበረ ቲያትር ማር ነበር ይሄ ሰላምታ የቤተሰብ ፕሮጀክት ፋሚሊ ባመቻቸልኝ ያ ምክንያት እና ከዛ ነው ኦዲሽን ነበረ ከዛ ካስተደረኩ
Yeah, so Tizita was out of school in Ethiopia. Our think summer winter we're off school. In the summer we're in school. So it was in winter she was taking acting classes, and we had done about 8 months of auditions and seen over 1,000 girls, and we couldn't find that right person who could become the sort of the kind of the heart of the film. And by chance 2 weeks before we started shooting we went there, and Tizita had just completed her first month of training, and I walked in there. The irony is actually the community workshop was held at my elementary school. So in my 7th grade class, I walk in there and then she was like standing and just like looking at what was happening with the other kids, with the other actors. And then I saw her right away, and then through her family, we basically got her to come into the studio and then audition, and that's how we got her.
Wow. Was that your first audition?
Yeah, it was.
It's always that easy.
And I just wanted to add also, Tizita lives in a family. It's a project called Salamta Family Project, and she's one of 90 kids, 96 now I believe, Marisa, right? 96 brothers and sisters, each live in a beautiful house, 9 to 10 at a time, with a living mother. And if it wasn't for the organization's efforts to have the kids like Tizita to follow their dreams, they asked her what she wanted to do for that winter, and then she wanted to learn acting. And they facilitated that for her, so that's how we found her.
Excellent. I saw the movie in Berlin. It was in April, right? Yeah, February, yeah. So I wanted to see the movie before, like I'm a journalist, and the director, he said, no, you have to go to the movie theater and experience it with the public. So I did not have my choice, but to go into movie theater in Berlin, and there were 800 people, and I was one of them. And I was sitting right there and watching the movie, and yeah, I was. I think my feeling was mixed. Firstly, I was totally overwhelmed. I was so happy because I know there are many people out there who have done fantastic job, but everybody will not get this kind of opportunity. Secondly, I started to reflect what happened 60 years ago and the time that I spent establishing the organization and running it for 8 years. And I was like working like a machine, and I never had the opportunity to sit down and reflect. So it was also a moment of reflection for me.
I mean, I think the sense of community in this film that you feel translated from the way it was made, where it was really a lot of people coming, as with any film, but this was, you know, finding the AD in South Africa, finding the DP, the editor in Poland, and everything kind of came together. And as far as, you know, Z had been working on this film for many years, and I'd heard about it, and he, you know, approached me, hey, would you like to produce it? And I probably read 2 pages, and I said yes, and because you just feel it, you just felt it. And so it was a really easy decision to make a very, you know, to accept something without even finishing it. But I think the challenges were, you're shooting 35 millimeter, you're in a place that doesn't process, you have to go to process in another place, which is a very bureaucratic country. And so you're dealing with 2 bureaucracies trying to get film across an ocean without being scanned or checked. So those kinds of challenges were very difficult. But as far as the production, I think what was great was you had, you know, we had a crew from all over the world, and we had a local crew. And somehow, over the 36 days that we shot, they came together and really put their heart into making this film. And I hope that, you know, it came through.